What's going on, everybody? Welcome back again to The Haunted Beard. My name is Jake. Well, I decided I want to do kind of a different style video for you today, and depending on how it turns out, hopefully maybe do more of these in the future and just add a whole new playlist of them. So what I want to do today is talk to you about one of my favorite horror scenes, and that's just what I'm going to call this segment, my favorite horror scene. And so today I want to talk to you about the first kill from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface's first victim. That's what I want to look at today. So I'm going to kind of do just like almost a shot-by-shot breakdown-ish and just kind of give you my thoughts on it and why it's one of my favorite horror scenes. And yeah, so we'll see how it turns out. I hope you enjoy. Let's talk about it. This movie is interesting in how it handles kind of its pacing. It's like 80 minutes long, and the last half of it is absolute insanity. And I love what they do. About 10 minutes into the film, if you've seen it, they pick up the hitchhiker. And this, to me, if I could kind of make an analogy between a firework, this is kind of when they light the fuse, so to speak, right? When they pick up the hitchhiker. And then for about the next 25 minutes, the fuse has been slowly burning. And then we get Leatherface's first kill, the kill of the character of Kirk, about 35 minutes into the movie. So for 25 minutes of screen time, this fuse has been slowly burning. And this kill is when the first firework goes off. And pretty much from that point forward, this movie is just, they crank the dials to 11. It is an absolute madhouse, and this movie redlines for like 40 to 45 minutes, and I love every single minute of it. So without further ado, let's get into Leatherface's first victim. This is a scene that lasts 53 seconds and is comprised of 16 shots. Let's take a look at it. All right, so here we have Kirk, and I'm going to play the first few shots and then give you some thoughts.
Is anybody home? Hello? Hey, pal.
Okay, I love that. So it starts off with the establishing shot. We see him in the doorway from the inside of the house. That's our first shot. The next shot is, now we get our point of view. And immediately our eyes are drawn to the red, right? This is a wide kind of establishing Kirk's point of view. Our eyes are immediately drawn to that red. We quickly see his reaction to it. And then I just love what it does by cutting in close a couple times on that shot. And it's like, we're Kirk. We're focusing in on that thing that grabs our attention. Like, what is that? Is that what I think it is? And of course, it's these animal skulls. And now he's a little concerned. Looks back one more time. Here we go.
Hello?
Okay. Oh man, that sound effect every time. So he comes into the house and he trips, and then Leatherface enters the scene, and man, it is so well done. I love that there is no music. I love that there's no sort of heightening of the scene. There's no heightening of the atmosphere with this suspenseful music, like, oh, something's getting ready to happen, right? It just is silent. And it just plays it very simple, very straightforward. And man, it's so great because when Leatherface comes out, it is genuinely surprising and shocking. And it's like, there's no jump scare there, right? They don't just add this blast of music to try to scare you. It's like, if you just film things and edit things well, that's all you need to do. You don't have to add this artificial jump scare sound effect. Then it cuts to, let's jump back here real quick. Right, there it is. We see his reaction. And then we see Leatherface. For the first time, the camera tilts up. We see his face just real quick, and we're like, what in the world? Who is this guy? And then, man, we get what I think is like the most haunting, memorable sound effect, maybe in horror movie history. Man, I remember that sound effect has embedded itself into my mind. Like the first time I watched this movie, however many years ago now, that sound effect, oh man, I just remember being like, oh golly, it is just gnarly. Um, that wet cracking thud of his hammer just busting Kirk's skull in. And I love that it doesn't cut to the close up when the hammer connects. What we get is the close ups following this of kind of the aftermath. But I just love that it doesn't get this overtly gory close up or this blood spray. It just films this in a wide, as if, if we were just standing there observing this, this is how it would look. This is what we would see if we were standing there. And it's just very simple and effective and haunting and terrifying. And I love it. Let's finish the rest. Okay, so then it cuts to a couple of close-ups of his bloody face and chest and legs. The the idea here that they have him go into these convulsions is just such a nice little detail that just makes this thing all the more disturbing, and it's just a great touch there. I love it. Then it cuts back to the wide. Leatherface hits him again. He goes limp, pulls him into the room, and slams the door shut. And man, we are sitting there watching with jaws dropped, eyes wide, in stunned, horrified silence, and it is fantastic. Um, I love too that it ends right there, and it's so much of that less is more approach that's just fantastic because it's like what goes on behind closed doors. We don't see right here and right. It's just like our imagination takes over, and it's just like, oh my god. The imagination takes over, and that's even more scary, right, than actually seeing it sometimes. And so uh, it's a fantastic scene. 16 shots, 53 seconds. One of the greatest horror scenes I have ever seen, and one of my favorites. If by some crazy chance you haven't seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, do yourself a favor right now and go watch it, because this movie is absolutely great. It is almost 50 years old now and still holds up extremely well. I highly recommend it. Go check it out. So that's all I got for you today. Like I said, I wanted to do something a little bit different. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. I would love to add some more of these types of videos. So that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. We'll see you next time on The Haunted Beard.